Jackson in the Olympian series by Riordan. This actually has 2 follow-up series, I think, and some extra add-on books, and it's very long. It's about this character named Percy Jackson, who seems just like a below average in grades, but average high schooler that has dyslexia. But it turns out he's actually the son of a god, Poseidon to be specific, and he can control water. And he accidentally kills his physics teacher in one of the first chapters. Not exactly kills, but reduces to dust. Rebecca can tell you more about that experience.
I'm pretty sure it's a math teacher.
I thought it was physics.
Her name is Miss Dodds, and so it all started one day where this bully kind of like pushed a sandwich in his friend's face, and then he got mad and couldn't control himself. He accidentally used the water to grab her because he was actually the son of Poseidon. And so Miss Dodd saw this and said, "Come here," in a way that Percy knew he was in trouble. So he came and she said, "We have found you." And then she turned into some kind of monster with bat wings and stuff. And she tried to kill him. And then his Latin teacher, I forgot his name, but tossed him a pen, and when he touched it, the pen turned into a sword, and then he used it to slay the monster. And the monster, later on, as Percy discovered, was a Fury, one of Hades' demons, kind of.
So it turns out the big 3, or Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, all made a vow that they wouldn't have any more children because their children were just too powerful. Hades sent this monster to try to kill Percy Jackson, who's the son of Poseidon, because Poseidon broke this rule. And Hades was like, "We have to kill this kid because this kid is illegal." And apparently people disagree with this judgment. For example, his best friend, Grover. It turns out that he's actually
Satyr?
a sat? No.
Satyr.
Yeah. Or
Satire?
No, that's satire is different. Or a faun in Latin, in Roman mythology. It's also called that. Let's just call him a faun to make it simple. So, and it turns out he's a faun. And this means he's upper body's human except for 2 horns, and lower body is goat. So he has goat legs. And he likes eating anything, especially plates and cans.
Tin cans.
Yes. And so Percy Jackson, so the teacher tells Percy Jackson's mom that they need to go to this camp. And Percy Jackson's mom has heard of this before because Poseidon has told her about that one. It's time, he needs to go there. So she knows where it is, and she drives to it. But right as they're about to enter the camp, they encounter a minotaur. Rebecca can tell you more about this experience.
So a minotaur is in Greek mythology. If you've heard of the labyrinth thing where the guy named I forgot his name, but he entered a labyrinth and he killed minotaur is basically kind of a man ox. It's a really powerful monster. And it shows up and tries to kill Percy. So his mother tries to fend it off, but when the minotaur touches her, she dissolves into like golden mist, kind of. And then, so Percy is really scared, but also angry because he thinks his mom just died. So he kind of like jumps onto the minotaur and then pulls its horn off, and the minotaur dies. And then like he makes it up to the pine tree, basically the border of the camp, and then faints.
I think what happens is he gets taken in and he sees his Latin teacher. Except his Latin teacher is a centaur, which means his lower body is a horse's body except for its head, and its upper body is attached onto where the horse's head should be. And it turns out his Latin teacher is actually the centaur that...
Chiron.
Yeah. Chiron?
Uh-huh. Chiron.
Chiron, yeah. He was the one that taught a bunch of people, such as Hercules. And Hercules was a demigod too, the son of Zeus. He was very powerful, as you can see, if you've heard any of the stories. There's also a Disney movie. I haven't watched it, but I'm pretty sure he's the main hero. Anyways, he's very powerful, which is another reason why they decide not to have the gods decide not to have kids. Percy Jackson is sent on a mission to recover Zeus's lightning bolt to prove himself, because someone had stolen Zeus's lightning bolt, and at first they thought it was him. But they gave him a time limit to find the lightning bolt. So they sent him off on the mission. And they said, if you can find this lightning bolt, you can live.
By the summer solstice.
Yeah, by the summer solstice. Otherwise, you're dead. In just a few days, he kills one of the hardest monsters to kill, Medusa, who, as you can see if you go to her garden, has many statues, since if you look at her, you turn to stone. So, what? Annabeth? Oh yeah, and he actually encounters a person called Annabeth, who he has a major crush on. And she's the daughter of Athena. And so she's very smart. And she also calls Percy Jackson seaweed brain, because sometimes he makes dumb mistakes.
He calls her wise girl.
Yeah. And then Grover comes along too on this mission.
And
brings lots of plates and tin cans.
Yeah. So there's also a person named Jason, I think. Annabeth has a crush on him.
I don't think it's Jason, isn't it Luke?
Oh yeah, Luke. Sorry. Luke gives him a pair of flying shoes, and he says, "You just need to call it Maya."
I think so.
And it will start flying. And they go to the underworld, and when Grover shouts Maya, well, no, he doesn't actually. When they go in the underworld, the shoes lead them to Tartarus, a pit
Of doom, where all the evil titans are trapped. Titans are the gods before these current gods. They're the parents of the gods, and they're very powerful and very big and strong. We have to go really deep in mythology mythology to actually explain them. But a basic breakdown is there were giant gods. And these not giant gods not killed them, but trapped them in this pit of doom called Tartarus, where they pretty much can't escape. But if they want to, they have to take a bunch of desperate measures, such as what Cronus almost did. But that's in the other books. Anyways, they eventually got the lightning bolt, and Percy is saved. Percy ends up accomplishing many other things, and in the second series, Jason and Percy get swapped, and they're very confused. And they accomplish another bunch of things. And I'd say these book series written by Riordan are good for maybe 3rd grade and up. And it's very interesting because it talks a lot about mythology, but it's also very fictional and modern. Because mythology is mostly like, this is Greek, which is years and years and years ago, very long time ago. So it's kind of interesting because they mixed modern stuff with ancient stuff. So like I said, we'd recommend this book series for these book series for 3rd graders and up. And happy reading. Bye. See you next time.